Imagine standing beneath a sky so vast and untouched, it feels like the whole world pauses for a moment. The jagged peaks of the Rocky Mountains tower around you, their snow-capped crowns glistening in the sunlight down below. Glacial lakes shimmer like liquid sapphires. The air, it's crisp, pure, alive with the scent of pine and wildflowers. This is Alberta, a place where untamed wilderness and modern adventure collide, where the spirit of exploration runs deep, and every bend in the road reveals something unforgettable. Alberta isn't just another stop on your travel bucket list. It's the kind of destination that imprints itself on your soul. It's home to some of Canada's most iconic landscapes and a few hidden gems most travelers completely overlook. In this video, we're counting down the top 15 tourist attractions in Alberta, from world-famous wonders like Banff and Lake Louise to secret pockets of natural beauty and adventure you never knew existed. You'll discover turquoise lakes so perfect they look unreal, prehistoric badlands where ancient fossils lie buried beneath your feet, charming mountain towns that feel like they're straight out of a postcard, and rugged, untouched wilderness where the only sound is the whisper of the wind through the pines. And Alberta isn't just about sightseeing, it's about experiencing. Whether you dream of hiking through alpine meadows, canoeing across crystal clear lakes, spotting wild bison, or simply breathing in the pure, wild air of the Canadian Rockies, it's all waiting for you here. But fair warning, once you see what Alberta has to offer, you might just find yourself planning your next big adventure. So, which of these incredible destinations will steal your heart? The towering peaks, the glowing lakes, or maybe the ancient secrets hidden in the Badlands? Or stick around until the end, you won't want to miss number one. And hey, if you love travel, adventure, and discovering the most beautiful places our world has to offer, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your fellow explorers ready to explore Alberta. Let's dive in. 15, Waterton Lakes National Park. Picture this. You wake up in a little mountain town where the streets are quiet, the air is crisp, and the mountains rise up like ancient guardians all around you. Just outside your window, the waters of the lake stretch out like glass, perfectly still, reflecting the towering peaks above, the kind of place where you feel small, like in the best possible way. This is Waterton Lakes National Park, one of Alberta's most underrated treasures. Tucked away in the province's southwest corner, right along the border with Montana, Waterton feels like a secret. The quieter, wilder sibling of Banff and Jasper, it's part of the world's first international peace park in a shared, protected area between Canada and the United States that reminds us nature knows no borders. Waterton is a tiny town with fewer than 100 year-round residents, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for with raw, breathtaking beauty. Unlike the busier parks farther north, Waterton feels untouched. The mountains are dramatic, the lakes crystal clear, and everywhere you look, there's wildlife. You might spot a family of deer wandering through town, or hear the distant call of a loon echoing across the water. If you're visiting, prices here are refreshingly reasonable compared to other mountain hotspots. Accommodation ranges from cozy lakeside cabins to the iconic Prince of Wales Hotel, a grand old-world mountain lodge perched high above the water. Even if you're not staying there, the views from the hotel grounds are absolutely worth the trip. Summer brings perfect weather, long, warm days, cool mountain breezes, and wildflowers blooming along the trails. In winter, Waterton transforms into a quiet, snow-dusted, wonderland, perfect for cross-country skiing or simply soaking in the peace. The town itself oozes charm. Cafes, ice cream shops, and little local eateries welcome you in, and just beyond the town, adventure awaits. Hiking trails wind through wildflower meadows and up rocky ridges. Cameron Falls, a stunning cascading waterfall, flows right at the edge of town, and the lake. The lake is the heart of it all. You can kayak, paddleboard, or take a scenic boat tour across the water, watching as the mountains seem to rise straight out of the lake's glassy surface. But maybe the most unforgettable experience, sitting at the edge of Upper Waterton Lake as the sun dips behind the peaks, the sky ablaze with color, the water still, and for a moment it feels like you're the only person in the world. People come here for peace, for the raw, unfiltered beauty of the Rockies, for that feeling of being completely, wonderfully small in the face of nature. Waterton Lakes National Park isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to breathe, to slow down, and to remember just how beautiful this world really is. 14, West Edmonton Mall. Now let's leave the mountains behind and step into something completely unexpected. Imagine walking through a place so massive, so over the top, it feels more like its own city than a shopping center, a place where you can shop, yes, but also ride a roller coaster, splash through a water park, skate on an ice rink, or even relax on an indoor beach, all under one roof. Welcome to West Edmonton Mall, Alberta's monument to fun, excess, and pure entertainment. Located in the heart of Edmonton, this isn't just Canada's largest mall. It's one of the largest shopping and entertainment complexes on Earth. And when I say large, I mean it. Over 5.3 million square feet, more than 800 stores, an entire indoor amusement park, and yes, even a life-sized replica of a pirate ship floating in its own lagoon. The mall first opened its doors in 1981, and ever since it's been a place where locals and tourists alike come to escape the cold, indulge in some retail therapy, or just get lost in the sheer size of it all. It's not just about shopping, though if you love fashion, electronics, or quirky Canadian souvenirs, you'll find everything here. It's an entire experience. Want to ride a roller coaster? Galaxyland is North America's largest indoor amusement park, right inside the mall. Feeling adventurous? The World Water Park boasts one of the world's largest indoor wave pools and towering water slides that'll make your heart race. There's also an ice rink, glow-in-the-dark mini golf, a giant aquarium, escape rooms. The list goes on. For families, it's a dream. For kids, it's paradise. And for anyone who's ever dreaded a long, freezing Alberta winter, a West Edmonton Mall offers a tropical escape any time of year. Costs vary, but entry to the mall itself is free. You only pay for attractions like the amusement park or water park, which can be bundled into day passes. And compared to flying your whole family to a beach resort or theme park, it's surprisingly affordable. And when you've had your fill of thrills, relax at one of the many restaurants, from casual diners to upscale steakhouses, or book a room at the Fantasyland Hotel, where every suite has a whimsical theme. From igloo rooms to space station decor, it's quirky and completely unforgettable. Locals love it. Tourists flock here year-round. And honestly, you could spend an entire day, maybe even a weekend, exploring every corner and still not see it all. It's busy, it's bold, it's a little bit ridiculous in the best possible way. But West Edmonton Mall reminds you that sometimes travel isn't just about nature or history. Sometimes it's about letting your inner kid run wild. And in the middle of Alberta's icy winters or even a hot summer day, there's no better place to escape, unwind, and just have fun. 13 Athabasca Glacier, Icefields Parkway. Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient river of ice. It stretches out before you, massive and silent, glittering under the sun like a frozen highway that disappears into the jagged peaks beyond. The air is crisp, the ground beneath your feet, thousands of years old, every crack, every groove carved by time itself. This is the Athabasca Glacier, and it's one of the few places on Earth where you can quite literally walk on history. Located along Alberta's legendary Icefields Parkway, the 230-kilometer stretch of highway that winds through the heart of the Rockies, the Athabasca Glacier is part of the Columbia Icefield, the largest ice field in the Canadian Rockies. It's massive, wild, and humbling beyond words. As you drive the Icefields Parkway, often called one of the most scenic drives in the world, the glacier appears suddenly tumbling down between towering mountains. It looks like something out of another world. And believe me, it feels that way too. Unlike many glaciers around the world that are tucked away or inaccessible, the Athabasca Glacier is one of the most easily reached. Park your car, and within minutes, you're standing near the edge of this ancient giant. For the ultimate experience, take one of the famous Ice Explorer tours, climb aboard a specially designed all-terrain vehicle that crawls up onto the glacier itself. Step out onto the ice, feel the chill in the air, hear the faint crackle beneath your boots, and realize you're standing on ice that formed tens of thousands of years ago. It's surreal, it's sobering, and it's disappearing. Like many glaciers, Athabasca is slowly retreating due to climate change, which makes seeing it now all the more powerful. The nearby Columbia Icefield Discovery Center offers fascinating exhibits and sweeping views, and if you're feeling brave, the Glacier Skywalk, a glass-floored observation platform suspended over a dramatic canyon, offers heart-pounding views of the valley below. Visiting the glacier is possible year-round, though summer and early fall offer the easiest access. Weather here is unpredictable. Snow, wind, and chilly temperatures can sweep in even during warmer months, but that's part of the adventure. The Athabasca Glacier isn't just a tourist stop, it's a humbling reminder of the raw, untouched power of nature, a chance to touch a frozen relic of the past before it vanishes into memory for many. Standing on that ice, surrounded by the soaring peaks of the Rockies, is a moment they'll never forget. It's not just a photo op, it's an experience that leaves you feeling small, awed, and utterly alive. 12. Drumheller and the Royal Tyrrell Museum. Imagine standing in a place where the land itself looks ancient, rugged, otherworldly. Jagged canyons stretch into the distance. The ground crumbles beneath your boots, layered with soft, striped earth that's been carved by wind and time. It feels wild, untouched, and full of secrets. Welcome to Drumheller, Alberta's Badlands, and the dinosaur capital of the world. Just an hour and a half northeast of Calgary, this small town sits at the heart of one of the most fascinating landscapes on the planet, the Canadian Badlands, a place that feels like you've stepped onto another world, and for good reason. Millions of years ago, this area was a lush, subtropical swamp teeming with prehistoric life. Today, it's where the bones of giants lie buried beneath the soil. The star attraction here is the Royal Tyrrell Museum, and let me tell you, even if you've never considered yourself a museum person, this one will blow your mind. Inside, you'll come face to face with some of the most complete dinosaur skeletons ever unearthed. Towering T-Rexes, razor-toothed raptors, Massive herbivores with spiked tails and armored backs, fossils so well preserved, it feels like they could spring back to life at any moment. But it's not just bones. The museum brings Alberta's prehistoric past to life with interactive exhibits, life-sized recreations, and hands-on displays that transport you straight into the age of Dinosaur. Step outside and the adventure continues. Drumheller is surrounded by badlands, a sprawling maze of hoodoos, canyons, and rugged cliffs. The famous Hoodoos Trail is a must-visit. These towering, mushroom-shaped rock formations have been sculpted by thousands of years of wind and rain, standing like silent sentinels across the barren landscape. The town itself, quirky, proud of its dino heritage. You'll spot dinosaur statues on street corners, shops selling fossil replicas and prehistoric souvenirs, and of course, the world's largest dinosaur, a 26-meter-tall T-Rex you can actually climb inside for sweeping views over Drumheller. Cost-wise, Drumheller is refreshingly affordable. Hotels, motels, and campgrounds dot the area. Entry to the Royal Tyrrell Museum is reasonably priced, with discounts for families and kids. Summer is peak season. Warm, dry weather perfect for hiking and exploring. Spring and fall offer fewer crowds and cooler temperatures. Just prepare for the wind. It's part of life out here, but what makes Drumheller unforgettable isn't just the fossils or the strange beauty of the badlands. It's that feeling of standing on ancient ground, of realizing long before cities, long before people, this place belonged to giants. Drumheller lets you touch the distant past. It awakens your curiosity, and for a moment it reminds you just how small and how fascinating our place in history really is. 11th, Jasper National Park. Close your eyes for a second and imagine pure wilderness stretching as far as you can see. Snow-dusted peaks slicing into the sky, deep valleys blanketed in evergreen forests, crystal-clear lakes reflecting the mountains like giant mirrors, and silence, broken only by the distant call of a loon or the rustle of wind through the trees. This is Jasper National Park, the largest national park in the Canadian Rockies, and for many, Alberta's true wild heart. Located just north of Banff along the world-famous Icefields Parkway, Jasper is where the Rockies breathe, where nature still feels raw and untamed, where you can wander for days and never see another soul. It's a place that doesn't need to shout to impress you. It humbles you quietly. The town of Jasper itself is small, charming, and refreshingly laid back. With a population of around 5,000, it has that mountain town warmth surrounded by wilderness in every direction. Here, life moves at a different pace. People come for the adventure and stay for the peace. Accommodations range from cozy lodges and rustic cabins to campsites and luxury hotels. Prices vary, but compared to its glitzier cousin Banff, Jasper often feels a little easier on the wallet and far less crowded. And the nature? Absolutely unreal. Take a boat cruise on Maligne Lake, one of the most photographed lakes in the world. The color of the water, a surreal milky turquoise that looks almost painted, and stop at Spirit Island, and a tiny picture-perfect isle framed by towering peaks. It's the kind of view that stays etched in your memory forever. Or explore the vast network of hiking trails, wander through ancient forests, spot mountain goats perched impossibly high on rocky cliffs. Keep your eyes open, and you might glimpse elk, or caribou, or even a black bear lumbering through the trees. In winter, Jasper transforms into a snowy wonderland. Skiers and snowboarders carve through fresh powder at Marmot Basin. Snowshoe trails wind through hushed forests, and at night, when the sky clears, the real show begins. Because Jasper isn't just a national park, it's a dark sky preserve, one of the largest in the world. With minimal light pollution, the stars explode overhead, the brilliant, endless, breathtaking. On clear nights, you can see the Milky Way stretch across the sky, and if you're lucky, the northern lights shimmering in waves of green and purple. It's quiet here, it's wild, and it's humbling. Jasper National Park isn't polished or crowded. It's not about luxury or convenience. It's about reconnecting with the wild, with the stars, with that deep, ancient part of yourself that remembers what real adventure feels like. And once you've stood beside those towering peaks, once you've breathed that crisp mountain air, part of you never really leaves. 10. The Calgary Stampede. Now, swap the mountains for something entirely different. Picture the sound of hooves pounding the dirt, the sharp crack of a bullwhip, the roar of the crowd rising like thunder as the gates fly open and a bronco explodes into the arena, rider holding on for dear life. This is Alberta's wild side. This is the Calgary Stampede. Every summer, for 10 unforgettable days, the city of Calgary transforms. It's not just a festival, it's a full-blown celebration of Alberta's Western roots, cowboy spirit, and larger-than-life energy. They call it the greatest outdoor show on Earth. And once you've experienced it, you'll understand why. It all started back in 1912 as a simple rodeo and fair. Today, it's one of Canada's most iconic events, drawing over 1 million visitors from around the world. The Stampede grounds burst to life with energy. Rodeo competitions showcase the best of the best: bull riding, barrel racing, steer wrestling, the kind of raw, adrenaline-fueled talent that leaves you on the edge of your seat. But it's more than just rodeos. The Stampede is concerts, carnival rides, chuck wagon races, fireworks that light up the prairie sky. It's parades rolling through the city. It's pancake breakfasts on every corner. It's locals and tourists alike pulling on cowboy boots, snapping on hats, and getting swept up in the fun. And yes, even if you've never touched a horse in your life, you're welcome here. Calgary itself is a thriving city of over 1.4 million people, modern, clean, and buzzing with energy. But during the Stampede, it feels like a small prairie town. There's music in the streets, laughter in the air, a sense that for these 10 days, everyone is part of the same big, bold family. Ticket prices for the rodeo and concerts vary, with affordable day passes for families. The midway, food stalls, and free community events ensure there's something for every budget. And if you love live music, the Stampede hosts some of the biggest names in country, rock, and pop. Dance floors fill with energy as the sun sets over the city skyline. The weather in July is usually warm and sunny, perfect for strolling the fairgrounds or exploring Calgary's vibrant downtown before heading to the Stampede. But here's the thing: the Calgary Stampede isn't just about entertainment. It's about pride, history, and a province that still carries its ranching and frontier spirit close to the heart. For 10 days, you get to be part of that, part of the wild, the music, the grit, the celebration. And when the dust finally settles and the city returns to normal, you'll carry a little of that cowboy spirit with you, ready to ride into your next adventure. 9. Banff Town Site. There's something magical about arriving in Banff. You drive through the towering Rocky Mountains, the road winding past endless forests and glacier-fed rivers, and suddenly this picture-perfect little town appears, tucked right into the heart of it all. Banff isn't just a stop along the way. It's a destination that feels like stepping into a postcard. The town of Banff sits inside Banff National Park, Canada's first and most famous national park. And from the moment you set foot here, the scenery almost doesn't feel real. streets lined with cozy mountain lodges and charming shops, all framed by jagged peaks that rise like giants around you. With a population of around 8,000 people, Banff is small enough to feel intimate, but big enough to offer everything you need. And it's not just tourists who fall in love with this place. Locals choose Banff for its unbeatable lifestyle, where wilderness meets community and adventure is literally at your doorstep. Yes, Banff is a tourist hotspot, and costs reflect that. Accommodation ranges from budget-friendly hostels to luxurious hotels like the Fairmont Banff Springs, the iconic castle in the Rockies that looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. Dining options are diverse, from casual cafes to fine dining with mountain views, but here's what makes Banff unforgettable. You don't have to go far to feel completely immersed in nature. Take a stroll down Banff Avenue and you'll find galleries, shops, and lively restaurants. But venture just a few minutes beyond town, and suddenly you're surrounded by pristine wilderness. Hike to the top of Tunnel Mountain for sweeping views of the Bow Valley. Soak in the historic Banff Upper Hot Springs, where warm mineral waters ease away the chill of the mountain air. Or ride the Banff gondola to the summit of Sulphur Mountain, where the 360-degree views will leave you speechless. And the wildlife? Banff is home to elk, deer, bears, and even the occasional mountain goat, often spotted right near town. The seasons here each have their own magic. In summer, wildflowers blanket the meadows, and hiking trails call your name. Autumn turns the forests golden with larch trees glowing in the sun. Winter transforms Banff into a snowy wonderland with world-class skiing just minutes away. And no matter the time of year, the mountains are always watching over you. Banff isn't just a place to visit. It's a place that lingers with you, a place that reminds you how small and how alive you can feel standing beneath the Rockies. It's the perfect blend of adventure, comfort, and awe. And once you've been here, you'll understand why people come for a week and dream of staying for a lifetime. 8. Lake Louise. Close your eyes for a moment and picture water so blue it doesn't seem real. A shade of turquoise so vibrant it looks like the lake was painted by hand. Towering, snow-capped peaks surround it, their reflections rippling softly across the surface. And right there on the shoreline, a grand, elegant hotel, its windows glowing in the morning sun. This is Lake Louise, and it might just be the most iconic view in all of Canada, tucked deep in Banff National Park, about a 40-minute drive from the town of Banff. Lake Louise is the kind of place that doesn't just live up to the hype, it exceeds it. The first time you lay eyes on it, it's hard to believe places like this actually exist. Glacier-fed and impossibly still, Lake Louise has been drawing travelers, adventurers, and dreamers for over a century, and with good reason. There's a quiet, almost sacred beauty here, the kind that makes you pause, breathe, and just take it all in. The tiny village of Lake Louise is built around this natural wonder. There are a handful of cafes, restaurants, and lodges, but the crown jewel, the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise, a grand hotel perched right on the lakeshore. Even if you're not staying there, strolling the grounds or grabbing a coffee with a view is a must. Of course, Lake Louise isn't just for admiring from a distance. This place invites you to explore. In summer, rent a canoe and paddle across the glassy waters, surrounded by mountains that seem to rise straight out of the lake itself. Hike to the Lake Agnes Tea House, tucked high in the forest above the lake, where fresh brewed tea and homemade treats await. The trails here, they're some of the most beautiful in the world. Wander through alpine meadows, climb rocky switchbacks, and marvel as glaciers glisten in the distance. In winter, Lake Louise transforms into a snow globe. The lake freezes solid, perfect for ice skating beneath the mountains. The surrounding slopes at Lake Louise Ski Resort offer world-class skiing and snowboarding, with some of the most breathtaking runs you'll ever carve through. And then there's the quiet moments. Standing on the shore at sunrise, the first light painting the mountains pink and gold, watching the lake shift from sapphire to turquoise as the day unfolds, or sitting beside a crackling fire, the crisp mountain air filling your lungs. Lake Louise isn't just a place on the map, it's an experience that stays with you, a reminder that some corners of the world are still untouched, still wild, still perfect, and once you've stood at its edge, felt the cool mountain breeze, seen those unreal blue waters stretch out before you, you'll understand why this place captures hearts and never lets go. 7. Moraine Lake. There are beautiful places in the world, and then there are places that feel like they belong to another planet entirely, places so striking, so impossibly perfect, they almost don't seem real. Moraine Lake it is one of those places tucked away in the Valley of the Ten Peaks. Just a short drive from Lake Louise, Moraine Lake is often called the crown jewel of the Canadian Rockies, and the moment you lay eyes on it, you'll understand why. The water, it's a shade of turquoise, so vivid, so electric it almost glows. Fed by glacial meltwater, the lake reflects the towering, snow-dusted peaks that encircle it. Like nature's own masterpiece, perfectly framed by rugged cliffs and dense evergreen forests. But it's not just the color that leaves you breathless, it's the stillness, the quiet, the feeling of standing in the middle of the mountains, surrounded by nature that feels untouched, ancient, wild. Getting here takes a little planning. Moraine Lake is only accessible by shuttle, bike, or private tour during the warmer months. The parking lot, it fills before sunrise, and for good reason. Sunrise at Moraine Lake is the kind of moment people dream of their entire lives. As the first light spills over the peaks, the lake transforms, the water shifts from deep blue to glowing turquoise. The jagged mountains catch the sun's golden rays, and for a moment, it feels like time stands still. The Rock Pile Trail is a short, easy hike that rewards you with the famous postcard perfect view from above. But if you want to go deeper, the surrounding area is full of hiking trails that wind through alpine forests, past glacier-fed streams, and into the heart of the Rockies. Summer brings wildflowers blooming along the trails, the scent of pine on the breeze, the distant sound of birds echoing through the valley. In winter, Moraine Lake is inaccessible by road, but that only adds to its mystery. It becomes a frozen, snow-draped world, untouched until spring's thaw reveals its vibrant waters once more. There's no entrance fee specific to Moraine Lake. It's part of Banff National Park. But remember, access is limited to protect this fragile paradise, and that makes it feel all the more special. For many, Moraine Lake isn't just another stop on their itinerary. It's the highlight, the moment they've dreamed of, and the memory that lingers long after they've left. Because once you've seen those unreal blue waters, felt the crisp mountain air, and stood beneath the towering peaks, a part of you never really leaves. 6. Icefields Parkway Drive. There are road trips, and then there are journeys that change the way you see the world. The Icefields Parkway is that kind of road. Stretching 230 kilometers between Lake Louise and Jasper, this legendary highway isn't just one of the most scenic drives in Canada. It's one of the most breathtaking road trips on Earth. From the moment your tires hit the pavement, you feel it. The Rockies rise up around you, jagged and towering, their peaks dusted with snow, their valleys carved by ancient glaciers. Every bend in the road reveals another jaw-dropping vista, emerald lakes, cascading waterfalls, endless forests that stretch to the horizon. The drive itself is easy and accessible with smooth, well-maintained roads, but the real beauty is the freedom to stop whenever your heart tells you to, and believe me, you'll be stopping a lot. There's Peyto Lake, a brilliant wolf-shaped lake so vividly blue it looks photoshopped. The Bow Glacier Falls, the weeping wall where springtime snowmelt turns sheer cliffs into shimmering curtains of water. And of course, the mighty Columbia ice field. Here you can walk on ancient ice, take a guided glacier tour, or step out onto the Glacier Skywalk, a glass-floored observation platform that clings to the mountainside, hundreds of feet above the valley below. It's thrilling, humbling, and utterly unforgettable. The wildlife, you'll see it. Keep your eyes peeled for mountain goats clinging to impossible cliffs, elk grazing by the roadside, maybe even a black bear wandering through the forest, wild and free. What makes the Icefields Parkway so special isn't just the views, though they're spectacular. It's the feeling, the sense of moving through untouched wilderness, of being completely, wonderfully small beneath those towering peaks. There are no cities here, no endless billboards, just pure, unfiltered nature, stretching for hours in every direction. The best time to drive is summer through early fall, when the roads are clear and the mountains are alive with color. But even in cooler months, if conditions allow, the Parkway offers a raw, wintry beauty that feels like you've driven into another world. Costs are minimal, just your national park entry pass, and every dollar goes toward preserving this incredible landscape. By the time you reach Jasper, you'll be changed. The noise of everyday life fades, the scale of the wilderness settles into your chest, and suddenly you realize this wasn't just a drive. It was a reminder of how vast, how wild, and how beautiful this world truly is. 5. Dinosaur Provincial Park. Now, imagine standing in a place so ancient, so rugged, it feels like time forgot it. The ground beneath your feet, layers of history. The air, dry, sun-baked, carrying the faint scent of sage and dust, and everywhere you look, sculpted canyons, hoodoos, and strange rock formations rise from the earth like the bones of a forgotten world. This is Dinosaur Provincial Park, one of Alberta's most otherworldly landscapes and a window into the prehistoric past. Located about 2 hours east of Calgary, deep in the heart of the Canadian Badlands, Dinosaur Provincial Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And for good reason. Nowhere else in the world has revealed so many dinosaur fossils in one place. Over 50 species have been unearthed here, their bones preserved for millions of years beneath the soft, wind-carved earth. But it's not just for scientists. This place invites everyone to explore, to wander, to imagine. The landscape alone is enough to take your breath away. Rugged coulees and canyons stretch as far as the eye can see. Hoodoos, those tall, skinny rock formations, stand like ancient guardians over the land. It's harsh, wild, and strangely beautiful. You can explore the park on your own, hiking marked trails that wind through the canyons and badlands, or, for a deeper experience, take a guided tour. Some excursions take you into restricted areas where real fossil beds lie exposed, where dinosaur bones poke from the ground like ancient secrets finally revealed. The visitor center offers fascinating exhibits, interactive displays, and fossil replicas, perfect for understanding the prehistoric world beneath your feet. And kids, they love it here. Dinosaur scavenger hunts, fossil digs, and wide open spaces to explore make this a family-friendly adventure. Camping is available inside the park with both tent sites and comfort camping options. Imagine falling asleep under a sky so dark and clear. The Milky Way stretches above you like a shimmering highway of stars. In this remote, rugged place, the night sky is unreal. Summer is the best time to visit. Long, hot days with little rain but bring water, sunscreen, and a sense of adventure. And the Badlands can be unforgiving. But here's what stays with you. Now, it's not just the fossils or the strange lunar-like beauty of the land. It's the humbling reminder of how old this place is, how tiny we are in the grand timeline of the Earth. Dinosaur Provincial Park isn't polished. It's raw, it's ancient, and it whispers of giants that once roamed here, leaving their bones behind, waiting for you to discover. 4. Elk Island National Park. Sometimes the most powerful places aren't the loudest. They don't roar with waterfalls or tower with jagged peaks. Sometimes they breathe quietly, wide open skies, gentle lakes, rolling forests, and the soft, steady presence of creatures that have called this land home for centuries. This is Elk Island National Park. Just a short drive east of Edmonton, Elk Island might not be the biggest park in Alberta, but it holds one of the province's greatest stories. The story of bison. Step into this quiet, protected sanctuary, and you're stepping into one of North America's most successful conservation efforts. Once bison roamed the prairies in the millions, then came near extinction. But here they thrive. As you explore the park, it's not uncommon to see them, yet massive, shaggy silhouettes moving through the tall grass. Their size humbles you. Their quiet strength reminds you this land belongs to them. But it's not just bison. Elk Island is alive with wildlife. Elk, moose, deer, beavers, over 250 species of birds. It's a nature lover's dream. Just minutes from the city, the park is easy to explore. Paved roads loop through the forest and grasslands. Scenic viewpoints invite you to stop and soak it all in. Well-maintained hiking trails wind through aspen groves around quiet lakes and across open meadows. A Stoughton Lake is a favorite spot. The calm waters stretch beneath wide prairie skies. Canoe rentals, picnic areas, and sandy beaches make it perfect for a summer afternoon. And as the sun sets, the sky explodes with color, reflecting off the still water like glass. But when night falls, that's when Elk Island truly shines. This is one of the best places in Alberta to stargaze. With minimal light pollution, the sky turns into a black canvas freckled with endless stars. On the right night, the northern lights ripple across the horizon, dancing in waves of green and purple. It's peaceful, it's humbling, and it's unforgettable. Costs are minimal, just a national park entry fee. Camping is available year-round with cozy options for tents and RVs alike. And because it's so close to Edmonton, Elk Island makes for the perfect day trip or quick escape. But don't let its quiet charm fool you. Elk Island is wild, alive, and deeply connected to Alberta's history and spirit. It's a place to slow down, to breathe, to witness nature's quiet resilience, and maybe to stand beneath the stars and remember how small and how lucky we really are. 3. Calgary City and the Bow River Pathway. There's a moment when you first arrive in Calgary when the wide open prairie stretches endlessly in one direction and the jagged silhouettes of the Rocky Mountains rise in the distance. It feels like the city stands right on the edge of two worlds, where modern energy meets Alberta's wild, untamed spirit. Calgary is Alberta's largest city, a place built by pioneers, shaped by oil booms and fueled by innovation. But beyond the office towers and bustling streets, there's a softer side to this city, and you'll find it along the Bow River. The Bow River winds through the heart of Calgary, its clear, glacier-fed waters carving a natural ribbon through downtown and beyond. Along its banks, one of the most beautiful urban pathway networks in North America. The Bow River Pathway stretches over 48 kilometers, weaving through parks, over scenic bridges, and into quiet green spaces where city life feels miles away. You can walk it, bike it, rollerblade it, or simply sit by the water, watching the gentle current drift by. In summer, locals float lazily down the river on inflatable rafts, soaking in the sun and the city skyline. It's casual, welcoming, and quintessentially Calgary. But the pathway is more than just a walking trail. It connects you to some of the city's most iconic spots. There's Prince's Island Park, an urban oasis with lush lawns, flower gardens, and open-air festivals in the summer. Come here during the Calgary Folk Music Festival, and you'll hear live music floating through the trees, cross the iconic Peace Bridge, its sleek red arches reflecting in the river, and you'll find yourself in Kensington, one of Calgary's most vibrant neighborhoods, quirky cafes, indie boutiques, street art that feels alive with creativity, and all along the river, the city unfolds. The glass towers of downtown rise to one side, while the mountains loom on the horizon, reminding you that nature, is never far away. Cost of living in Calgary is surprisingly reasonable for a major city. Housing prices have cooled in recent years, making it an attractive option for young professionals and families. The economy is diverse, energy still plays a role, but tech, health, and finance are growing fast. And when you need to escape the city, the Rockies are just over an hour's drive away. Banff, Canmore, and Canonis, all within reach for a weekend adventure. But the beauty of Calgary is you don't have to leave to feel connected to nature. It's woven right into the city, along the Bow River, under the wide prairie skies, where city life slows, and Alberta's wild spirit flows right alongside you to Canmore and Canonis country. Now, imagine a place where the mountains feel close enough to touch, where rugged peaks rise up all around you, but the crowds? They never seem to find you. A place where adventure waits at your doorstep, but peace wraps around you like the crisp mountain air. This is Canmore, and just beyond it, Canonis country. Nestled in the Bow Valley, just an hour west of Calgary and minutes from Banff, Canmore has become one of Alberta's most beloved mountain towns, and for good reason. It has all the beauty of Banff, without the tourist buses, the same towering peaks, the same glacier-fed rivers, but with a quieter, more laid-back energy that makes you want to stay and stay and stay. The town itself, it's charming. Walk down Main Street, and you'll find artisan coffee shops, cozy bakeries, craft breweries, and local boutiques. The buildings are low, the vibe is welcoming, and the mountains, well, they're everywhere, no matter where you stand. They rise up around you, watching over the town like ancient sentinels. Housing in Canmore isn't cheap. Demand for mountain living is high, but many find it worth every penny for the lifestyle. Fresh air, endless trails, and that feeling that you're living inside a postcard. But step beyond the town, and Canonis country opens up before you. Locals simply call it K-Country, a vast, untamed wilderness of parks, forests, mountains, and valleys that stretch beyond the horizon. It's the kind of place where you can hike for hours, days, and hardly see another soul. Trails range from gentle, family-friendly walks along alpine lakes to heart-pounding summit scrambles that reward you with panoramic views of the Rockies. Grassy Lakes is a favorite, a short, scenic trail leading to jewel-toned pools so clear you can see straight to the bottom. In winter, Canonis transforms into a playground for snow lovers, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, ice climbing. It's all here. And at night, when the sky darkens and the stars appear, the peace is almost overwhelming. But it's not just about the outdoors. Canmore and Canonis have a soul, a sense of community, a rhythm that moves slower than the city, where life feels simpler and wilder. And maybe that's the real magic. You can spend the morning climbing a mountain, the afternoon with a coffee and a book by the river, and the evening watching the sunset turn the peaks gold, all without ever feeling rushed. For those who dream of mountain life, but crave a little breathing room, Canmore and Canonis offer the perfect escape. And once you've stood on a Canonis ridge with nothing but peaks, sky, and the sound of the wind, you'll understand why so many come here for a weekend and never really want to leave. 1. National Park, the crown jewel. Some places are more than just places. They're legends. They live in postcards, in travel shows, in the dreams of anyone who's ever longed for the mountains. Banff National Park is one of those places. This is the heart of Alberta's wild beauty, Canada's first national park. Over 6,600 square kilometers of untouched wilderness, soaring peaks, glittering lakes, and valleys carved by ancient ice. A place so impossibly beautiful, it almost feels like a dream. The moment you enter Banff National Park, everything changes. The air feels different, crisp, cool, carrying the scent of pine and glacier-fed rivers. The mountains rise around you, jagged and ancient, their peaks dusted with snow even in summer, and everywhere, nature wraps around you like a quiet, powerful presence. The park is home to some of Alberta's most iconic destinations: Lake Louise, Moraine Lake, the Banff town site, the Icefields Parkway. They all live within Banff's boundaries, but the park itself is so much more than its famous landmarks. Its endless trails winding through alpine meadows bursting with wildflowers in summer. Its quiet forests where elk graze and bears roam. Its hidden lakes, crystal clear and untouched, waiting for the lucky few who find them. For outdoor lovers, Banff is paradise. Hike to the summit of Sulphur Mountain, paddle across Vermilion Lakes as the sun sets behind the Rockies, ski the powdery slopes of Sunshine Village or Lake Louise in winter, or simply sit by the Bow River, watching the mountains change color as the light fades. And it's not just the scenery that captures you, it's the feeling. Banff is where the wild meets the civilized, where you can start your day with coffee in a cozy cafe and spend your afternoon wandering through valleys that feel completely untouched. The park welcomes millions of visitors each year, but step beyond the main road and you'll find peace, solitude, and silence that stretches for miles. Costs vary, but a national park pass grants you access to it all, whether you camp under the stars, stay in a rustic lodge, or splurge on luxury at the Fairmont Banff Springs. The experience is worth every moment. Banff National Park is more than a destination. It's a reminder of how small we are, how ancient the mountains are, and how lucky we are to share this planet. It's Alberta's crown jewel, a place that humbles you, awes you, and stays with you long after you've gone, because once you've stood in Banff, breathed its crisp mountain air, and looked out over those endless peaks or part of you never really leaves. So, after all the mountain peaks, shimmering lakes, wild canyons, and ancient glaciers, one thing becomes clear: Alberta isn't just another travel destination. It's a place that stirs something deep inside you. It's where nature humbles you, where history whispers through the canyons, where the quiet moments leave the biggest mark. From the wild heart of Banff National Park to the prehistoric secrets of Dinosaur Provincial Park to the electric energy of Calgary and the calm stillness of Elk Island, Alberta is a place of contrasts, and somehow they all fit together perfectly. Maybe you felt drawn to the towering peaks of Canmore or the endless stars over Jasper. Maybe it was the thrill of the Calgary Stampede or the unreal turquoise waters of Lake Louise that stole your breath. But the truth is, Alberta has a way of staying with you. Long after the trip ends, long after the photos fade, the feeling remains, that quiet awe, that sense of standing somewhere bigger than yourself. So, which place captured your heart? Which one are you adding to your bucket list? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear which part of Alberta called to you the most. And if this journey stirred your sense of adventure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who dreams of wide open spaces and unforgettable landscapes, because next time we'll be exploring even more of the world's most breathtaking destinations. Until then, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and remember, the world is waiting. I'll see you on the next adventure.